Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paul, and I am a nerd, and you are here for the November 2017 Worldox Virtual User Group meeting, where today we are talking about saving a document directly into a project. Something revolutionary, I know. It was to us when we discovered it. And using the export feature to create lists that you can use elsewhere. Without further ado, I'm going to press all the right buttons here, all of them. And I'm going to get us to a point where Mary Jo can save a document. So here you go, Mary Jo, there's Word.
Okay. So a lot of times in Practice Master, what time is it? In Worldox, we can create a project and then we can drag documents into Worldox after we've saved them into Worldox, and it kind of can be tedious. But now all we have to do is create a document, and as we're saving the document and the Worldox profile window opens, there is now a Save to Project right here on the profile screen. So I can still fill out the profile card with the client and the matter and the doc type of where I'm going to save the document. But at the same time, when I click on Save to Project, it opens up the workspaces over here on the left. Now, this box here is just telling you that you can right-click onto the workspaces and you can add another project in here if there isn't one already there. Or you can right-click on the little folder within one of these workspace projects here and rename it or create another project under that. Or you can even expand the workplaces in here just to go ahead and see what's out there. So that's all this box is doing here. Really, when we saved a project, it is opening up this workspaces section on the left. And that's when we can go ahead and choose where we want to save that project or that document. So if you have not set up your workspaces, that is a key. You are going to want to set up your workspaces first. I do believe we have another video out there on how to set up your workspaces and how to create a project underneath there. So here I have a folder for me out here, and then inside of that is all of my project folders. So I have several different ones. If I needed to create a new one, I'm simply right-clicking, creating a project. This will be Test Vug Project. Say OK. And now when I want to save this, I'm going to check that box. And now you can see that Save to Project is gone. And I have a Change Project available. So I would go ahead and profile this out. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's put this to our Purdue Law. And we'll just make this a miscellaneous document and say OK. And so now that's been saved. We're going to go back into Worldox. And if I want to see those, we're just going to go back over to, let me open my screen all the way here. I'm in Paul's, so it's a little different for me here. But here's my workspaces. And if I go underneath my folder and my test vug and double click it, there's my document that I've saved there. Now that document is also over in Purdue Law on that profile, and I can go over there and open the document as well. And if I delete this out of the project, the document will still remain over onto it where I originally profiled it. So that's important to remember that that is just in the project here. And then any other documents, if I had saved that document there and I wanted to drag other documents into the test bug, I can still do that as well. But I do have that ability as I create documents to go ahead and do that as a save to project. Now we did it in a Word document, but that's available for any document that you're saving. It's on all of the profile cards as you're saving a document. So you could add any kind, a PDF, an Excel, an email, whatever you want, to that project that we have. Paul?
Very cool. And we're still only 9 minutes in, but Patty's got a question. I was going to say this is going to be a quick vug, but Patty's got a question. What do you have, Patty?
Mary Jo, David would like to know if he selects more than one project folder when saving, will the document be saved to all of them?
Well, let's find out. Good question. Let's go in and let's do a save as on this one so I can get that to pop again. We'll go in here and let's see what happens. So we're going to save this as a new file, save to project. I'm going to close that window, and I'm going to put this into several projects. And my guess is that we should be able to.
Yep, I can tell
and
right now.
I can tell right now too, but we'll just say OK. And now let's go back into Worldox, go to our workspaces, And I put that into, I think, billing. And did I put it in billing?
I didn't think you put it in
No,
billing.
I don't remember where I put it now. Let me go back in here.
Training materials.
Training materials. So let's open that. I'm double-clicking there.
There it
There's
is.
my document. I didn't name it. I didn't give it a name, so that's my document there. And then if I go back out to my Workspaces into
Test bug.
It's in there.
It is. Yeah, that's very cool.
So yes, you can.
So Workspaces are kind of like folders, only they're like magical folders because you can put something into 3 folders at the same time without copying the document. That's very, very cool. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to admit that we think this has been there for a while. We just discovered it. And even better, look at this. We think that, save as, we think you have always been able to simply click on Workspaces and do that, okay? But Worldox is all about enhancing the product in such a way that people sometimes realize that things are there that have been there all along. And so they added this button to say, hey, just do this thing over here, and that'll come up. And so, you know, I want to admit that we discover new things about Worldox every day, and I think that's important to understand that nobody knows everything there is to know about Worldox, not even Paul and Mary Jo. Now, let's go in here. This is another one of those things that that's been there all along, and we thought it was something that warranted telling you all about. I'm going to go into favorite files to illustrate this. So let's say you need to send a list of all the discovery documents to opposing counsel, or you need to send a list of every document that's in a certain matter to the client, or maybe you need a list of all the pleadings that you're going to send down to a paralegal. How do you get that list? Well, first off, how do you get the list to begin with? This is my favorite files. How would I get a list of all the pleadings, or let's say sample documents for a certain client? Well, I'd simply do find and go into clients and specify the client. Maybe we're going to put in Purdue, and we're going to choose our mythical Purdue law offices, and maybe I'm going to choose a doc type of email. And I'm going to search. Well, it doesn't have to be. I can just pull Purdue law. The point is, whatever file list that you want, if you get it on the screen and then hit List, Export, and specify a place to put it. I'm going to put mine in, I guess I'm going to put it right in Documents, and I'm going to call it documents.csv. That's what it defaults to. And it already exists, so I'm going to replace it because I've been playing with this. And I can even open it right at that point. Or I can go into the target folder. And there they are. Now, here's another trick for you. If you want to expand all these columns in Excel all at once, you click up in this upper left-hand corner, highlighting all the cells, and then when you right-click or double-click on one of these right boundaries, all of them expand to the right size. That's your extra tip for the day. And so here I have a list of all those documents. Now, that was just a list of emails for the mythical Purdue law offices. It could be anything. Let's say I wanted to go in and say, just my favorite Word documents, and I want to send this list to somebody. List, export, documents. I'm going to just go ahead and replace it. The other thing that you can do instead of opening the file is you can explore the target folder, which just opens Windows Explorer. And there it is, Documents CSV. And there's that. Yes, thank you, Mary Jo. Mary Jo's saying, I need to make sure that you understand that this isn't something that you can just click on later and go to those documents. No, this is just a way to get the information that's in your columns on this list somewhere where you can then work with them. So maybe you want to send a list of all the doc IDs for the pleadings in the Jones slip and fall matter to the paralegal. Create the list, send it to the paralegal. They can then have a list they can work from. The doc IDs, they can just type in here to find the actual documents, and they're ready to go. A lot of utility here. When we were getting ready for this a couple minutes ago, we listed off a half a dozen different things that you could use this for. Sending documents to opposing counsel, sending documents to the client, sending assignments to paralegals or to other clerical staff within the firm. all sorts of different things. Monitoring what people have worked on over the last 2 weeks, keeping track of associates and what documents they should be billing for, all sorts of different reasons to be using this functionality. And it's very, very straightforward. You get a list on the screen. If there's a column that you want in the list, you just need to make sure that column exists here. So maybe the 2 in the email, if it's something that an email that would have a to address. And now I've added that column, and so that would be in a list that I would export. And that's that. Very, very great deal of utility in that functionality, and also very simple to understand. So next month we're going to talk about both viewers. Those are the ways you can look at documents before you open them. And if you're wondering what I mean by both, well, then you should sign up for next month's webinar. And Mary Jo's, I believe, going to take that topic, and I'm going to talk about moving emails into Worldox directly from your phone without having to come back into Outlook. I bet that interests some people too. If you want to find out more about that, you'll have to come to the VUG next month, the virtual user group meeting next month. And of course, it would not be a virtual user group meeting if I did not take you to attorneycomputersystems.com. And of course, you need to recognize my emphasis on that last S in the word systems, because without it, you do not get here. If you'll click on that videos tab or go straight to one of the titles, but I'm going to click on the word videos, you will see all of our different titles. We have 6 of them. 4 of them are live. We have 3 virtual user group meetings. You're currently in the Worldox virtual user group meeting. We also have Practice Master and Tabs. We have my monthly webinar series, The Coffee Pots, where I talk about an add-on product, something that adds value to Worldox or Tabs or Practice Master, or something that's something extra that isn't included with the original product. And then we have our pre-recorded videos, the eBytes video series that Mary Jo does each month. She does 3 of these each month, one on Tabs, one on Practice Master, one on Worldox. These are short little 2 or 3 minute videos with something really cool that we can explain very quickly. And then we also have our longer format Paul and Mary Jo show, where either I or Mary Jo will take a broader topic and take a deep dive into it, trying to cover all the different subtle nuances and explain something that can't be explained in 2 or 3 minutes. And so those will sometimes last 10, 15, even 20 minutes and get right down into the nitty-gritty of what it is that we're talking about. If you want to find out about any of these or see our recorded versions, all you need to do is click the More Info. So for instance, I'll click on More Info for Worldox, virtual user group meetings. I'll be taken to a screen that describes the virtual user group meetings for Worldox, tells me about next month's session, gives me 2 links that are identical. They just look different, but are identical to register. And then as I scroll down, I will see recorded versions of everything else that we've ever done in that particular title. This is where you are right now. You are currently in the November 2017 Worldox bug. So this one is not out there yet in a recorded version. It will be in a couple days or perhaps a couple weeks with the holiday. But then as we scroll down further, we see all sorts of other interesting videos. We have literally almost 1,000 videos on this website. So please, they're out there 365 days a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Grab a bottle of wine, sit next to the fire, get your laptop in front of you, and people do binge watch these. Maybe it's not quite as exciting as Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones, but we do run into people the next morning who have been up all night watching these videos. Don't do that, but please take advantage of them. Everybody have a good rest of the day, and we will see you in December. Thanks much. Bye-bye.